Hi everyone, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is a collective reading today that is for Sun, Moon and Risings. If it doesn't resonate with yourself, then please take what resonates with you and leave the rest for someone else. I hope you like your messages today. If you do, please like and subscribe to the channel and you'll get updates every time that I put new content on the channel. Okay, let's get into the reading. Hi, so this is a reading for Gemini. It is a reading with regards to self-reflection. So at some points we all need a bit of support and we all need to reflect on ourselves in order to heal and move on. Or maybe not move on, but we just need a little bit of healing work being done, or, you know, something self-improvement. Because we're always on a learning journey. We've never finished learning. There's always something to learn about ourselves. So this is a collective reading. So it won't resonate with everybody, obviously, because it is for a collective. It will resonate for some of you. It could be something that is happened recently, could be past, or something to come for you. So take it as it resonates, leave what doesn't. Spirit, can we get some cards for the collective of Gemini to help with any self-reflection journey that they are currently going through? Spirit, please can we get some cards to help with Gemini's current self-reflection journey? Just see if we can. I always put them two in the wrong places. That way. Okay, so the overall, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, and he's in the reverse on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the overall energy then, so the Knight of Pentacles is saying that something's been delayed, or something's... The Knight of Pentacles is generally the slowest moving knight in the deck. Okay, he is usually bringing you some good fortune, but when he's in the reverse, he is a little bit more delayed than he'd normally be. He's a little bit unreliable, and potentially he's very stubborn. And regardless of what outcome is coming, will continue to plow on. And yeah, so even if you know it's coming to an absolute crash, he's carrying on anyway. He's not moving. He's just going to go for it, even though he knows it's either going to turn into a success or it's going to turn into, I don't know, a pile of horse poo. That is what that Knight of Pentacles does. He's just going to charge on, carry on, regardless of what's going on. So that suggests that that's currently what you've been doing, that regardless of what the situation is, you're just plowing ahead, you're just going for it. Okay, regardless of what it's doing to you, what it's going to end up as, you're just going to keep going. Okay, now what we have got is we've got the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups is currently your inner talk and how it is affecting you. Okay, now that King of Cups is actually really good. He is suggesting that you're quite kind to yourself, that you are emotional, but the King of Cups generally hides those emotions. So potentially, yes, you might be very emotional about things, but it's very much you might not be telling yourself, you might not be being as compassionate with yourself as you need to be. It potentially somebody that, I mean, the King of Cups, he's very controlling over his emotions. He's comfortable with ups and downs, and he's in it for the long term. So, you know, that's what that Knight of Pentacles is doing. He's in it for the long term. He's not going to stop. And that's exactly what this King of Cups is doing. He's hiding those feelings, whether they're negative, whether they're positive, and he's being stubborn. He's hiding everything. He is plowing on, in it for the long term, regardless of anything. So that if you're not being compassionate for yourself and you're just plowing on regardless, you're not really giving yourself enough self-affection. You're ignoring yourself. It's a bit like self-hate as such, because you're putting yourself on the back burner. And that's what that inner voice is saying. He's not really letting you put yourself first, because if you're going to put yourself first, you're not going to put yourself into something that could potentially lead you into harm. Well, you might if you're an adrenaline junkie. I mean, I'll say that relationships, some of those lead you into harm. You're going to put yourself into those. But I mean, if you know the outcome of something and you know it's going to turn into a pile of poop, you're not generally going to follow on with it. If you know you're going to lose a ton of money doing something, you're not going to do it, are you? Because you're not going to want to lose that money. But the King of Cups isn't letting you be kind to yourself. So even if you know that something's wrong, he's not letting you. He's kind of telling you to pipe down, keep it all in. He's not letting you say to yourself, it's going wrong, The same, likewise, if it's going in the right direction and things are going really great, he's saying, and don't let anyone know. It doesn't matter. It might all turn to poo. It might not. We'll keep a lid on it. Yeah, we might be excited. Things might be going great, but we're not going to let anyone know. And it's kind of hurting yourself as well, because you're not expressing yourself properly, because your inner voice is telling you not to. It's like it's telling you nobody cares. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying if you were to express your feelings, what does it matter? Because they're yours and nobody needs to know about them. So it's very much of, when it's your inner voice, it's a bit cold. It doesn't really. It's kind of it's basically, it's like it's telling you nobody cares about what you think, or what your opinions are, or what you want, or what your feelings are, but they do. Now we've got the Three of Pentacles as what you're hiding from yourself, okay, what you could potentially be ashamed of, or what you fear. Now that Three of Pentacles is generally people working together, so this could potentially be that you fear collaboration. You fear that something that you may be working on might come together in real life. You fear things manifesting potentially, so maybe you've been manifesting something, or maybe you're manifesting a collaboration, but you're scared it will happen. At the same time, it could be very much that you're scared it won't happen, or you could have done a collaboration with somebody that you might be a little bit shameful of. It isn't just collaboration, it's also crafts and having talent. But it is working on things. So it suggests that you're either scared of working on things, whether it's working on your inner self, whether it's working on things with other people, or you may feel shame over something that you've worked on in the past, and you're scared that people will find out about that. There's a lot of the time where sometimes people will feel shame about doing something, and the guilt will eat away at them, and that will then create them to sit there and think, well, if nobody knows, it doesn't matter. Okay, now what we've got, so what can you potentially do to help with healing from that fear, shame, and guilt? So we've got the Knight of Cups, okay, and he's in reverse. So that Knight of Cups is, again, he's a relatively an emotional card, but when he's in the reverse, he is a little bit unreliable. So what it's potentially suggesting is not being unreliable, but possibly that you need to jump in, because he's also somebody that he does go fast, but he's also somebody that's in love with himself. So it does suggest that you might need to do some self-love. He can be vain. It can be somebody that puts themselves above other people. So it doesn't have to be in a bad way, but it would suggest that you need to do some self-love and some self-healing. Put yourself first before you put other people first. So maybe what you could be ashamed of is when you've been working with people, you know, you've been either taking a back burner, so you're not putting yourself forward, or potentially when you've been working with people, you're being overworked, so you could be doing more than your fair share of the work. And that Knight of Cups is saying, hang on a minute, you know, you need to be saying either I'm doing more than I should be doing, you guys need to start picking up the slack, or he's saying you need to be jumping in and doing stuff for yourself and show that you can do things just as well. Now take it as how it will fit for any of you. It could be any way round. It will resonate differently with each of you. Now, what we also have is, what do you need to let go of? Okay, and what you need to let go of is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is also in reverse. So that suggests that you need to let go of conformity. Okay, the Hierophant, when he's in the upright, is he's like, I want to say he's the priest of the deck. He's like a pope kind of person, religious, you know, belief systems, potentially a boss, somebody that you look up to. When he's in reverse, it's hypocrisy, somebody that's judgmental, somebody that questions traditions. And what it's suggesting is that you need to let go of either conforming. So if you're somebody that is a people pleaser and you conform and let people run over you, it's suggesting stop doing that. It also suggests that if you are somebody that is non-conformative, potentially, that you might need to just kind of start conforming a little bit, and let go of some of your non-conformity. You know, take it as it is. It is, yeah, like I say, it will resonate with you differently, because each of you are different. But it just suggests that, you know, that you're potentially abandoning what you normally would do. You know, going against something that you've been taught. If you're the type of person that's been taught never to complain and just accept it and get on with it, start putting yourself first and complaining. And now what we've got, what do you need to embrace? So we've got the Seven of Wands is what you need to embrace. Now, the Seven of Wands is generally a bit of a conflict card. So it's suggesting that maybe you need to have, well, a conflict, but self-confidence as well. You know, being defensive, having quick wits. I say conflict because in the traditional tarot, it's normally a man standing there with a big stick and he's got loads of sticks coming up. Wands. He's got loads of wands coming up at him. He's trying to defend himself. So it does suggest that you need to start standing up for yourself. Again, which comes along with everything else that's in here. So it would suggest that, you know, something that's happened. I mean, this to me looks like it's a work situation potentially. I mean, it could be relationships as well, because, you know, if you've got lack of emotions or you don't really speak up much in a relationship and things that you've been working on, it's not going the way that you want to and you feel a bit ashamed, if you don't start putting yourself forward and go against what you would normally do and stand up for yourself, things aren't going to get any better. Okay, now we're going to get some clarification on these as well, just to see if there's any extra information that Spirit can give us. So Spirit, can you clarify this King of Cups, please? Can we get any more information on this King of Cups, please, Spirit? Okay, so that King of Cups is clarified by the Six of Wands in reverse. So the King of Cups, so somebody that's not really feeling much, well, he is feeling, but he's keeping it all inside, is being clarified by the Six of Wands. Now, the Six of Wands, when it's in the upright, is somebody that is successful and victorious. When he's in the reverse, he's a bit defeated. So it suggests to me that you don't really speak much, or you're keeping things in, you're keeping that internal voice quiet because you're feeling really defeated. Okay, so whatever it is that has been happening has made you feel defeated, and very much like I said at the beginning, like, what's the point? Spirit, can we get some clarification on this Three of Pentacles, please? So something that may have happened in the past, whether it's a relationship or a job where you thought you'd have success, has ended in failure, or not necessarily failure, but something's happened that's made you think that it's not quite what you were expecting, but you feel like you can't talk up about it, you can't speak up, you can't say anything. Spirit, can we get clarification on this Three of Pentacles, please? Okay, so we've got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, now that Five of Pentacles, when he's in the upright, is suggesting that somebody's feeling abandoned. When it is in the reverse, it does suggest that there are challenges that need to be overcome. Money may be hard at the moment, or there could be difficult relationships that need working on to be resolved. So again, that the collaboration, the working on things. So whether it's that you're resolving a relationship and you're feeling a bit ashamed about it, let's throw it out there. If it's a job where you've already complained, you've complained about it over and over and over again, and you keep telling your friends or your family, I'm going to leave it, but then you decide to stay and work on it, you might feel a little bit ashamed. Same as if it's a relationship where somebody's treated you like absolute rubbish. They've betrayed your trust, they've lied to you, they've cheated, whatever, but then you decide to give them another chance, and you're feeling slightly ashamed. Or it could even be the other way around. You're feeling ashamed about, or you're fearing that you're going to be abandoned by somebody. You're fearing something's going to happen. So you sit and you're working on things because you're scared of the loss. You're scared that if you don't work on things, or if you're going to be ashamed of it later on because you know that you should have worked on it. But it does suggest that you might be working on something because you might be scared of standing up for yourself. I mean, that won't be for everybody, but it does look that way, that you're working on something that you might be ashamed of purely because you might not want to stand up for yourself. It could even be that you feel ashamed that if you don't stand up for yourself, or that, not so that you don't stand up for yourself, but if it's something that's already draining you, if it's something that's taking a lot out of you and you're feeling defeated, you might be needing to stand up for yourself a lot more in order to work it through to your advantage. Spirit, can we clarify the Knight of Cups? So we've got the Knight of Swords in reverse for the Knight of Cups in reverse, okay? So that Knight of Swords, again, he's a fast mover. Now, the Knight of Swords is a little bit more cold than the Knight of Cups, and he is somebody that is not able to make up the mind, might be a little bit bad-tempered as well. So not only is it suggesting that you need to, put yourself first, this is suggesting that you don't know how to, or that you're very indecisive on whether or not that's the best step. Okay. It does look as though it could be the best step. I mean, that is up to you whether or not you do that, but it would suggest to me that with the fear and the shame part being what you're working on, it would suggest that you're scared of putting yourself first, like I say, of standing up and putting yourself first. And yeah, you're being very indecisive about it. Okay, let's get some clarification on the Hierophant as well. I'm going to laugh if the Three of Pentacles comes out for the non-conformity. Don't work on things. So let's have a look. Please clarify the Hierophant in the reverse. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Wands in reverse. Okay, so again, it's suggesting where before you're used to not standing up for yourself, to start standing up for yourself. So get rid of that non-conformity. You need to let go of not looking after yourself. You need to let go of people that are going to get your guard up. You need to let go of potentially your defenses a little bit. And you need to start standing up for yourself a lot more. So where potentially you may have let people, you know, how do I put it? You may have let people put you down or walk over you slightly. That this is suggesting that what you need to do is, you know, push ahead. Now, it does suggest when it's in the reverse as well that you do it quietly. But this is what you're letting go of. You know, this is what you need to let go of. So stop being quiet about things. Stand your ground. You know, if it causes waves, it causes waves. It looks as though you need to stand your ground a little bit more. And put yourself first. That's what I'm getting from this message. Is, you know, okay, you might have been used to things in the past where you've sucked your feelings up, you've been quiet, you've worked on things, even if it's detrimental to yourself. But you need to start standing up for yourself. You need to start being that little bit selfish, putting yourself first. So let's get clarification on the Seven of Wands, and we've got the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay. And now that Eight of Swords is saying that whatever has been holding you back is no longer there. Yeah. So if you manage to, you know, ignore that inner voice that little bit, start talking, putting yourself first, working on things. But when you're working on things, you know, make sure that your voice is heard and what you want and what your needs are getting put out there. Not being quiet on things. You know, standing up for yourself is what you need to embrace. And what it will say, you know, you're not going to be stuck. If you can start doing that, if you can start standing up for yourself, start putting yourself first, then you're not going to be stuck anymore. So where you're currently stuck with that Knight of Pentacles, because he's not really going anywhere, he's come off his motorbike and he's a bit stuck. That Eight of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, is saying that you're going to be free. You're able to move forward again. Okay, so just that little bit of self-love, your self-preservation, putting yourself first, being selfish. I'm surprised I'm not seeing a devil card, to be honest with you, because the devil sometimes is also suggesting that you need to be selfish and put yourself first. But it does suggest that looking at all of this, that you're somebody that would sacrifice yourself quite a lot for other people, whether that's in love, whether that's in work. But it does look as though you do need to start standing up for yourself, being vocal, putting yourself first. If it means that you have to then, I'm not saying to go and, you know, say negative things about other people, but it's more of when you go for a job interview, you have to sit there and talk about your accomplishments. You know, how do you stand out against other people? What makes you you? It's like saying that sort of thing. You know, make sure that you're putting your needs, your wants first, because at the end of the day, if your needs and your wants aren't getting met, what are you there for? Whether that's in a romance or a work situation, you know, if you're working and you're not getting the money that you need, then you need to, I'm not saying you need to look somewhere else, but how can you continue living fully if you're not getting the income you need? You need to try and find some sort of supplement towards that. If you got an unfulfilling job, if you're not happy with it, would you want to stay there or would you want to look somewhere else? If you're in a workplace where you've got, you know, co-workers around you that are quite argumentative and They're always happy to step on everyone else to make themselves get promotions or look great. I mean, let's face it, there's some places where, for instance, car sales, let's use that as an example. You may find that on the floor room, you've got people that will compete with each other to get the best sales. Nothing like nicking each other's customers, to increase your sales and have that workplace competition. If you're a relatively timid person, you might end up coming at the bottom of the sales ranks every month. It's literally saying, don't let people do it to you. Stand up for yourself and say, oi, I'm at a 2. That's mine. Same in love. If you're somebody that is a giver and you're constantly giving to your partner, at what point do you turn around and say to them, okay, you need to give me back, because you're just going to keep emptying your cup, and once your cup's empty, you've not got anything left to give. And if you're not getting anything back, it's not going to refill very fast. Okay, so I'm also going to pull some oracle cards for you. Moon oracles. Spirit, can we get a moon oracle for Gemini, please? Yeah. Jumping all over the place. Okay, so we've got the answers you need are coming. Okay. And we're going to have a time to give rather than to take. Now that came in the reverse. So that would suggest it is time for you to start taking instead of giving. Okay. And then we've also got conclusions are within reach on the bottom of the deck as well. I'm also going to pull you a kitchen witch oracle as well. I'm going to have to read the book because I haven't learnt these ones fully yet. They're all about different herbs and what might help with things. So let's pull a kitchen witch oracle. See if there's any particular type of herb or something out the kitchen that may help you start appreciating yourself a little bit more. Spirit, can we get a card from the Kitchen Witch Oracle that will help Gemini on their journey of self-love, self-acceptance, and putting themselves first? Okay, so they're saying ginger, and that is power. Okay, so let me get you the meaning behind that. My forceful and fiery influence will help to accelerate the results you desire. For the power of my root has been revered since ancient times. When someone tries to overshadow you, or when you are down or bullied, your personal power fades. Add some ginger magic into your world and turn up the heat. I will bring you the confidence to live up to your full potential. As your power increases, together we shall combat nightmares, incite passion, and heal physical ailments such as stomach and digestive problems. My medicinal properties offer anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects for the healing the body, as well as spicing up your culinary delights in your kitchen. Okay, so yeah, so it's suggesting maybe you should try eating a bit more ginger to help with your self-confidence. A little bit. Again, that all works well with what the message that's come through for you today. I hope that's helped some of you Geminis, and I do hope that you do excuse me, I do hope that your inner reflection work is successful, and I wish you all the luck. Thank you for joining me today.